The thing is, we're not really part of either faction. I know that whichever path we choose, we'll be doing it for Japan's future. Wow, is it time already? Is anyone else going to show? Huh? Looks like everyone's here.
We're now going to negotiate directly with Lord Katamori to offer our services in Kyoto. All who have the guts, follow me!
Any who wish to work with me in Edo, let us go together in the morning. Otherwise, be gone from here.
Are they mad? Filthy traitors.
The Roshi Gumi disbanded, allowing Isami Kondo and his associates to create the Shinsen Gumi, a police force that would watch over the city of Kyoto.
It's a tough decision, but don't agonize over it too much. Allegiances can and will change. That's just how life goes. If Katsura's around, I bet he'd be willing to lend us an ear. Let's see if we can find him. Hope you don't mind extra company. We've left the Roshi Gumi.
How are you? Bold move, showing your face here. We might have joined forces at Ejiri Post, but you didn't expect us to welcome you back with open arms, did you? Word is that Kyokawa has died. I suppose that's why you two have shown up now? I thought as much.
Katsura, the reason we joined the Roshi Gumi, the reason we're here now. We've only ever done what we thought was right. I'm not saying we can go back to the way things were before, but will you let us join your fight? At least for the time being.
Very well. I always knew I'd eventually have need of you again. There's an assembly taking place at the Ika Inn soon. You two should come. Of course. Just follow along behind me. Listen, at the meeting there will be warriors other than the Choshu present. Look out for Master Miyabe of Kumamoto, a great figure in our movement. I consider him as great a man as Master Shoin. Be sure to talk to him. Not much further to Ika Inn. Master Miyabe and the others will be in the banquet hall upstairs. Damn, we're later than I expected. They probably started without us.
Hey, the Shinsen Gumi are raiding the Ika Inn.
Yeah, they're cutting down all the Ronin.
The Shinsen Gumi?
They're in danger. We have to help them.
It'll be a pleasure working together.
I'm glad to be part of this band.
Here they come!
Oh, very nice. That was smooth.
Perfect. I've been wanting to test myself against you. Yes. I wouldn't expect any less from you.
Hey! You're not looking so good.
I can't get enough of the feeling. I feel so very alive. I may have gotten a little carried away.
That was Master Miyabe! Quick! Kumega!
Katsura, what are you doing here?
What's the meaning of this?
Are you betraying us?
Don't be reckless!
I let my guard down.
Damn!
Finally, you're...
What are you doing here?
What's the meaning of this? Are you betraying us?
Hey! You're not looking so good!
Sorry for the trouble.
You're not looking so good!
Master Miyabe! I'm so glad you're safe.
Katsura! Why didn't you escape when you had the chance? And who is this with you?
A friend of great skill, as Genzui and the others will readily attest. They're not our enemy. Rest assured.
I see. Well, perhaps there's something you can do for me. I'm going to create an opportunity for Katsura to escape. I want you to keep him away from harm.
No, Master. You should be the one escaping. Our movement would fall apart without you. Exactly. I can't just agree to that. What if you die? We've already lost Master Shoin and...
I have a chance to achieve immortality, and you have a chance for greater opportunity. Am I mistaken?
Of course not. We'll make you proud. Master Miyabe, your sacrifice won't be in vain. Impressive.
Thoughts?
Hold it right there! Did you think you could escape?
Don't be reckless.
We're only just getting started. Traitors must be punished! I will have your head!
Look at you! Master Miyabe is gone!
I won't lose to you!
The Shinsen Gumi are at the gate! To arms! To arms! Bring the gun! Hurry!
I'll leave the fight to you. Why couldn't you have put that strength to use? For me? Lord Katamori thinks highly of us. If you want to make a name for yourself as a swordsman, come back to us. Good. I'm sure I could persuade Toshi and the rest. You can find us at Mibudera Temple if you want to join us. You're always welcome.
Damn. That was a close one.
This meeting should have been top secret. Who could have leaked it? It seems the situation in Kyoto has changed significantly. Far more than I had imagined. It is likely that the Shogunate had eyes on me. I would only put my allies in danger if nothing changes. Not something you would hear from my other associates. But you are right. I need to stay alive so I can make my biggest move. And make Master Miyabe's death worth something. I'll go into hiding for a while and try to find out what the Shogunate and the nobility are planning. Thanks. I'll see you again. I promise. Stick with Kusaka's lot. If you really want what's best for this nation, that's the way to go. I'm counting on you.
Nakaoka! You did well to make it such a long way.
The days of the Shogunate are over, Kusaka. It's been a pleasure fighting alongside you.
Nah.
Choshu troops are in the mountains ready for battle. I pulled some strings and have a sizable army under my command now.
If my Kiheitai join you, the Shogunate doesn't stand a chance.
You know it. Kusaka, we have the advantage. Just say the word, and your troops will be ready to march.
Great.
No sign of Katsura?
He was attacked by the Shinsen Gumi at the Ika Inn. He managed to get away, it seems.
But we are not sure where he is now.
I see. In that case, do you remain firm in your resolve?
Yes. Your troops have come a long way and given us a golden opportunity. It is time to live up to Master Shoin's ideals.
When I fled my clan in Tosa, it was your clan that took me in. It's time for me to repay the favor.
Oh.
Will you let bygones be bygones and fight the Choshu alongside me?
I am not sure the Satsuma clan will be all that useful on the unfamiliar terrain of Kyoto.
I assure you that is not the case. Your forerunner, Lord Shimazu, possessed foresight. He traded with Britain for the latest weaponry and prepared for this day. He demanded that the shogunate embrace reform. Truly, he was a loyal servant of the shogun, an example to all. If the Satsuma clan remain bonded closely with me, we can realize the ideals of your predecessor. You think the same, don't you?
You're the Ronin I've heard so much about? You're exactly how Ryoma described you. The pleasure is ours. The name is Shintaro Nakaoka, a Ronin who deserted Tosa, just like Ryoma.
Getting to business. I heard about Ika Inn. You have my sincerest gratitude for what you did to protect Katsura. Next time, I'd like you to wield that strength for me. I assume you know what's afoot in Kyoto.
After Ika Inn, our backs are to the wall. It's do or die.
Wait. I support the idea of raising an army too, but that would truly be risking everything.
Whatever you say, our only option is to gather troops. Now is the time to enact Master Shoin's vision.
If death should grant one immortality, then death is the way forward. Fine, Kusaka. If you mean to stand and fight, my life is in your hands.
Good. Our most formidable foe will be Matsudaira's Shinsengumi. Dispose of them, and we can have the Imperial Court write an edict to our favor. The time has come to realize our grand ambition! We need you to rout the Shinsengumi as part of the vanguard. Will you be ready to mobilize once we raise the army? Good. Let's go.
We'll show them what we're made of.
We're outnumbered, but apart from the Shinsengumi, they're a mere rabble. You attack from the southern gate and keep Kondo in check. There you should find the main force under Kondo's command. Take adequate caution, and do not fail me. Even if Mount Fuji crumbles, we shall not falter. Fight and survive. We will surely meet again.
then so am I.
Fire! Fire!
Are you dead?
Cause much chaos in Kyoto. It cannot go unpunished. I can't allow you to go any further. Master Kondo, please forgive me.
This is not
If only we could have traded a few words.
We may have failed, but Kondo will surely not.
Onwards, brave warrior! Oh, I guess not to step back.
this far. But the road ends here! Well Walter, now! Why did you side with the rest? To attempt more than this. To defeat the captain of the Shinsen I knew that you were strong. He's so sorry. A samurai must be gracious in defeat. You may tell Kusaka that I fell to you.
Retreat! Retreat!
British cannons pack quite a punch, don't they, Saigo? The Choshu are all but defeated. Let us leave the rest to the foot soldiers.
No. We must wipe them out to a man. Continue the bombardment.
Hurry! Over here!
The Choshu were more spineless than I thought. If this retreat continues, Kyoto will be burned to ashes.
So you are behind this?
It takes you back, doesn't it? This smell. Back to that day. The day when we died. And while we fought! Soon enough, the Shogunate, the whole country, will be engulfed in flames. This is the world we longed for, is it not? Let's fight like the bright-eyed novices we used to be. An all too familiar sight. Well, not bad. You still only know to follow, the same as when we were children. Since I was... now I have true power. The very thing I lacked that day. Don't tell me you started anew without me. Once you have the foreigners' weapons, the rest is easy! One small child will start an inferno that engulfs the nation! It's in times of strife when we are most needed! See? I've kept us relevant. You and me. Blade twins. The two of us as one. Join me.
Someone told me that the Shogunate is already dead. So it must be reborn and usher in a new world. What that world looks like is still shrouded in darkness. But there are those who are feeling their way towards the light. A new dawn. I fight alongside those who would bring it about. And so, I cannot join you.
I thought you would understand. You of all people.
So, they have scattered to the winds. May they escape alive, and realize our master's dream for a new world. Saito, Yamagata, Nakaoka, Katsura, Shinsaku. For me, how I wish I could see you one last time. Master Shoin. I am ready to join you now.
August 1864. Genzui Kusaka took his own life. He was 25 years old. The Forbidden Gate Rebellion ends with Genzui Kusaka's suicide, and the defeated Choshu clan tarred with treachery. The battle may be over, but Kyoto's skyline blazes still, the city blackened by the conflagration that has been unleashed.
Genzui.
So many willing to die for an idea. I never think about those left behind.
Genzui was chasing your brother's dream. For all our sakes. He wanted to build us a new Japan.
I'm afraid I would never understand. How can you create a peaceful world through war?
It is in times of strife when we are most needed. This is the world we longed for, is it not?
We can't let the Joshi rubble escape!
Haven't you had enough? The battle is over!
Yeah. I rounded up the rest of them. Come!
I'm putting a stop to this. There's been enough bloodshed. Right, let's go. All the men of Choshu want is to change Japan for the better. Damn it, we all want the same thing. For it to come to this, This way! I hope Shinsaku is alright. Shintaro too. He'll be fighting alongside the Choshu. The Choshu survivors have fled to that temple. I don't know if Shinsaku is there, but we need to get inside and help them. I'd like to avoid fighting the Shogun's men, but that might not be easy. Are you prepared? Should have known you'd be ready for anything. If they find out we helped the Choshu now, they may well brand us as traitors. But we need to act now, before it's too late. Come on, let's make our move. It'll be a pleasure working together.
They must be hiding somewhere. Root them out and kill them all.
This is not good.
Looking so good.
I can keep going.
What am I doing? Sorry. I slipped up.
Oh, very nice.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. Please, take this with you.
Do you mean to interfere? If so, I will not come back. Not have me yet. That is quite interesting. I might give it a try. Do not disappoint. How dare you?
Do not overdo it.
I feel alive. So Kondo would be grateful for fighters with your skills. Perhaps you might consider... No, never mind.
You did well to stop him. Now, let's get Shinsaku out of here. Yes, I thought the same. But first things first, we need to help Shinsaku. We should be able to get him to the Choshu's Kyoto estate. With all of this going on, I'm hoping the defenses there have thinned. He's in trouble if we don't get him to a doctor right away. Come on, let's hurry.
If it wasn't for you, I would have been done for. I seriously thought it was the end for me. But thanks to you, I live to tell the tale.
It was Oryo who saved you, really. I didn't know you were such an expert.
The expert is my father. All I did was follow his instructions.
To you and your father, I could never thank you enough. If you had not come, many lives would have been lost.
And I must say, your arrival was a very nice surprise. I never thought this would be my chance to see you again.
It seems too good to be true, doesn't it? Clearly, fate has something in store for the two of you.
I don't know about that.
That aside, what happened to Katsura? Do you know where he is?
No. He vanished after the incident at Ika Inn. But then this letter arrived here, just this morning.
Let's see here. I'm in Kamogawa. Your time has come. Rise as one. And do you think this is Katsura?
I can't say for certain. But anyone who would know Master Shon's last words must have seen his end.
You're right. That way we'll know for sure. Katsura's the man in charge. If he doesn't show his face soon, it's going to be hard to keep everyone in line.
Regretfully, I would have to leave this one up to you. I'm still not too steady on my feet. Also, it feels like I'm coming down with a cold.
Not a problem. We'll head there as soon as we're ready. There's a longhouse you can use in Kyoto. Rest up there. Once you're all set, join me in Kamogawa.
Be careful, Ryoma.
I will. Just look after Shinsaku, won't you?
Ohms, if you please.
What the hell happened here? Looks like these men were still breathing pretty recently. This doesn't bode well for Katsura. We need to find him now. Right. I'll start over there. So much of the town has been burned down. So many holes. We're meant to be fighting for a better country, but this is anything but.
Found you at last. Say your prayers!
Man against those some of us. Like that. Let's things up, shall we?
I thank you for your kind aid.
Care of that. Now then, let's ask our friend here what that was about.
Thank the stars. Glad it was you two who showed up.
Katsura, I had a feeling that was you. What are you doing in that getup? The Choshu men feared the worst.
I've been looking into the Shogunate's next moves, but I've let down my comrades by not being able to fight with them. Genzui especially. It wasn't for nothing though. I got my hands on some vital information. The Shogunate are going to send in a force to deal with the Choshu soon.
The Shogunate is making a move. They're seizing their chance to take the Choshu out once and for all.
Indeed. And they're expecting the Satsuma to provide the best part of the force.
Them again? But weren't they planning to revolt against the government?
Well, the Satsuma are making a show of compliance to the Shogunate, which will spell the end of the Choshu. Any bright ideas?
You know, I've always wondered why the Choshu and Satsuma don't just make an alliance. You're the only ones with enough power to bring about change in this country. If you joined forces, you'd be unstoppable.
You're not wrong. It would be incredible. Could it be done? But the Satsuma and Choshu are sworn enemies. We cannot simply form an alliance.
That's right. Focus on the past and you lose sight of the future. To make a real change, you're going to have to make some hard choices.
I see what you're saying. Then we should ride to Kyomizudera Temple. Takamori Saigo of the Satsuma should be there at present, as far as I'm aware. He's the commander of the Satsuma forces right now. If we can persuade him, this plan might have legs. Let's meet at Kyomizudera Temple!
오! 자마다요.
Could I leave it to you two to broach the subject? I doubt he'll be in the mood to listen if an enemy like me shows up out of nowhere.
No problem. We'll handle this. So, Saigo's in this temple, right?
Ah, that's right. The former chief priest of this place, Gesho, was said to be close with Saigo, and I hear today is the anniversary of his death.
Okay. Time to head inside. We'll get kicked out if we just rush in. Better to wait for the right moment. The grounds are pretty big, so we should prioritize locating Saigo. Time for me to shine, eh?
I stand at the ready!
Very nice.
He's at the Jojo.
Hey! You're not looking so good! Very nice. Here they come! That was smooth.
So, you've been ordered to lead the expedition against Choshu. What do you intend to do, Saika? What would Gesho advise? Well, I'll leave you to ponder it. Some solitude may bring you clarity.
How dare anyone threaten me on this most sacred day?
Please wait! We just want to talk, not fight!
Take more more than that to make seems you're no ordinary. I won't die here so easily! Are you all right? Crossing blades with someone with no intention to kill is pointless. You said you would like to speak to me. Are you telling me to ignore the Shogun's direct orders? Preposterous. There is nothing I can do.
Forget the Shogunate. I want to speak to you, not them.
It was the Choshu who drew their swords first. And considering their behavior in Kyoto, how can we leave them be?
Look, I understand Satsuma's perspective. But have you thought about our future?
What do you mean? Change this country? What are you saying?
Saigo, deep down, I know you agree with me. There are things Satsuma can only accomplish with Choshu by its side.
You want us to march alongside our sworn enemies? I simply cannot see it.
And yet, it can be so. If we should will it. But first, I should apologize. I am sorry I could not stop the conflict earlier.
Katsura of the Choshu? What are you wearing?
Oh, ignore these filthy rags. I assure you, my aspirations remain unsullied. As my associates have said, we must put aside our differences, even if it means moving heaven and earth. We must transform Japan.
Katsura, I hear you. I accept your proposal. Gesho, too, would have been glad to put an end to the bloodshed.
Then it's settled. The Choshu and Satsuma will join forces, and we shall be the ones to see it through. You know, I've heard that in the West you're meant to hold hands and shake them on occasions like this. Go on. Try it.
Saigo, I look forward to working with you.
The pleasure is mine.
Takamori Saigo, swayed by Ryoma, defies the shogun's orders and calls off the Satsuma assault on the Choshu. This episode helps the Satsuma and Choshu draw closer, and they conclude an alliance aimed at overthrowing the shogunate.
Don't you remember what I told you back then? That I had a dream as big as the damn ocean.
This way.
Escape us.
Accept your fate!
They don't give up easily.
Down.
It's just a scratch. Don't worry.
He needs medical attention. Come on, let's go. I want to get back in the bus for a start.
Sounds like a plan. This is a real mess.
After being attacked at the Terada Inn, Ryoma Sakamoto took refuge amongst the Satsuma clan.
Might not be so lucky next time. I'm going to have to leave things to you for now. I'm counting on you.
Did Ryoma make it away without any trouble? Sorry I couldn't be there for the send-off. Now we can't afford to ignore what happened at the Terada Inn. But we still don't know the true course of events. Kondo and Hijikata were away from Kyoto, serving the shogunate. which puts both of them out of the picture as suspects.
If the Satsuma Choshu alliance searches for the culprit in the open, we'll only incur the wrath of the shogunate.
And that's where you come in. We want you to infiltrate the Shinsen Gumi and sniff out the culprit from within.
I leave the matter to Katsura's judgment.
I knew you'd be on board with the idea. You can handle yourself and adapt to the unexpected. Well, perhaps some of them already know of you, but with a little disguise, no one will notice, I'm sure. You can learn from me. Come to Nishi Honganji Temple once you're fully prepared. You need to be ready to pass the initiation.
Want to test your luck?
These are prohibited goods. I'm afraid that we will have to confiscate them.
You saved my skin. Yeah, take this.
How are you? This place is being used as a Shinsengumi outpost. The arrangements for enlisting have already been made. Thanks to a Satsuma connection, they're expecting a skilled Ronin to join their ranks. You've got a Shinsengumi uniform already, haven't you? You should change into it now. Unless you can uncover who orchestrated the attack on the Tereda Inn, it won't be safe for Ryoma to come back. I know you're up to the task. The stakes are high, but I'm counting on you. That's what I like to hear. Saigo and I will be praying for your good fortune.
Ah, you must be the new recruit. I've heard much about you.
I've heard talk of your skill with the sword. But a lot of the men here like to talk big. So I'll have to see it to believe it. Have I seen you someplace? Now there's a fearsome look. I expect great things from you. Though I swear I know you from somewhere. I didn't mean anything by it. I apologize. I haven't introduced myself. Shinpachi Nagakura. And this cold fish is Hajime Saito. Saito, show the new recruit around our outpost. And make sure you put them through their paces. Make sure you listen to Saito's every word, you hear? His skill is peerless. Don't upset him or you're done for.
Good grief. Never. Dueling is strictly forbidden in the organization. Kill another member and you'll be made to turn that sword on yourself. The training facilities are just over there. Let's head in. Here's where we train. Seems we're just in time for a session. You won't make it into the Shinsengumi without some skill at the sword. It's time to show me what you're worth. Try taking him on. If you need... Good, I have her.
行きます
but I'd like to see a little now. I'd like you to face him. Don't disappoint me.
覚悟
What's the verdict? Think they've got what it takes?
The technique is certainly interesting. Not bad at all.
Well, coming from you, I'll take that as a high compliment. Now, what say I grant them the honor of a bout with their superior?
Nagakura is in a different league from the other members you fought. Fancy your chances?
Haha, don't you worry. No one's going to die. No need to hold back, newcomer. Throw everything at me. I yield! You're no joke.
Most intriguing. Besting Nagakura is no mean feat. Right then, follow me.
Ah, you must be the newcomer. Could you come here a moment? Sorry for interrupting. But even in this state, I thought I should at least introduce myself.
This is Soji Okita. Neither I nor Nagakura are his match in swordplay.
That's all in the past now. Now that I'm bedridden, I don't amount to anything but dead weight. If you want to improve, Saito could teach a thing or two, I'm sure. He's peerless after all.
Okita, I'll go on to the dojo. Send the new recruit over once you finish talking.
So then, why do you want to join the Shinsen Gumi? Well, I can't disagree with that. Put your life on the line, and Kondo is sure to reward you generously. Saito's waiting, isn't he? You should get going. I'll see you later.
Let's begin. This is quite a surprise. I see. You're strong, that's for sure. There are few amongst our number who would be a match for you.
That is no exaggeration.
Why? You could go toe-to-toe with Kogoro Katsura or Ryoma Sakamoto. Those names must have reached your ears, I'm sure. Fine words. I hope to see you live up to them in battle.
Right. I think we can make use of the new recruit. Any objections?
Not from me.
There's someone else I'd like to introduce you to. Follow me. There's an officer I'd like you to meet, Kashitaro Ito. A man so sharp he can tell you where the world is going and exactly how it's going to get there. Suzuki, I pointed him out before, is Ito's younger brother. He's important to know too. Leads one of our units. Now, after I introduce you to Ito, I'll speak with him in private. You are to use any means necessary to listen to our conversation. Understood? Ito, I've brought you a new recruit. Their swordsmanship rivals that of myself or Nagakura.
Well, you must truly be something to earn such praise from Saito. I am Kashitaro Ito, Shinsen Gumi's staff officer. The Shinsen Gumi is made up of the most elite warriors in Japan. Against the Shogun's cowardly retainers, we are as a tiger to a house cat. This country's very future will be decided by our actions. You would do well to be mindful of the power we wield. As you should. By all means, put that sword arm to use in service of our cause. I expect great things from you. By the way, Saito, can I have a word with you?
That will be all. Dismissed. Listen to our conversation from outside, and make note of every word. Got that? Go. I was just asking the newcomer to train the men. Someone so skilled should be able to oversee fencing drills, I thought.
With Kondo and Hijikata absent, and Okita ailing, now's the time. No one can stop us from breaking away from the Shinsengumi.
But without us here, the enemies of the Shogunate lurking in Kyoto may grow bold.
The attempt on Sakamoto at the Terada Inn failed to rouse either the Satsuma or the Choshu. We needn't worry on that account. We are gathering in Aburanokoji to discuss precisely how to break free. I expect to see you there.
We're finished. You can come out now. Fine work playing the spy. I doubt Ito noticed a thing. You must have heard it yourself, but let me state, Ito is a traitor. I'm keeping watch over him at Kondo's orders. There was an assault at the Terada Inn recently, where Ryoma Sakamoto was attacked. You hadn't heard? He recently became a bigwig in the anti-shogunate forces, prompting Ito's attempt to off him at the Terada Inn. In a nutshell, yes. There's a rumor going around that it was our work, but neither Kondo nor Hijikata were involved. Ito's true intent was to tarnish the Shinsengumi's reputation and to ascertain the plans of the anti-shogunate forces. What we learned is that they can't afford to make any big moves right now, which led to Ito concluding the time was right for him to make his move. I'm going to rid the Shinsengumi of Ito's faction. I know you've only just enlisted, but I will need your help. Meet me at Aburanokoji. That's where we'll do it. Oh, it's you. You came. We'll begin once Ito's men are here. This is your first official mission. Is there anything you need to ask? Good. That saves me some trouble. Todo and his companions are masters of the sword. This will be quite the fight. Are you fully prepared? Good. We'll ambush them as they return.